context, my sister, F27, and I, 18F, lost our dad a year ago. He was my only parent. Mom was never in mine or my sister's life. Dad left money, inheritance, for me and sister, and she used her inheritance to get new cars and renovate her house. I live with my aunt right now cause my brother-in-law didn't let me stay with my sister. I'm planning on using my inheritance money to pay for college tuition. I've always wanted to be doctor but haven't decided which branch yet. My sister and I haven't been close. It started after she got married to her chronically ill husband, who was allowed to make backhanded comments about Dad and mock his illness and make a scene at his funeral. Only because he's ill and shouldn't be held accountable for his behavior. I've distanced myself, but my sister kept visiting a lot lately, venting about my brother-in-law's condition. He's been in and out the hospital for heart problems and in need for a surgery. She brought up my inheritance money several times, but I end up cutting the conversation. She then straight up asked if I could help pay for her husband's surgery and she'd pay back in less than a year. I felt uneasy cause if I give her money from my inheritance, which is a large amount, then there's no guarantee she'll pay back before it's time to apply for college. I'm taking a year gap, but I know my sister can't pay back that much and I felt I was risking my future. I refused to help and she had a meltdown at my aunt's house, calling me heartless, cruel with no empathy. She said that her husband's health should be a priority and I needed to help because education is nothing compared to someone's health, and asked if I'd be happy to see her as a widow and my nephew with no father. My aunt suggested others pay, but most of them cut my sister and her husband off. I argued that her husband's poor health isn't my fault after she kept blaming and guilt-tripping me. She kept crying, and although my aunt decided to stay out of it, she said that I should be prepared for permanent damage in my relationship with my sister if I don't help her now. She's been sending texts and pictures of her family telling me this is what I was saying no to, a happy healthy family with a healthy husband and father. I cried and felt like I was being selfish, not good aunt and sister. I asked my friend and he said let them sell the cars and all the luxurious stuff they bought to afford the surgery, and warned me if I give them money I'll never get it back and may not be able to go to medical school. I grow indoor plants and keep them around the house, whether by the kitchen window or out on the front porch. I have a variety of plants like lily, aloe vera, also flowers, and they all require care and attention. It's a hobby of mine, and because I don't own enough space I just stick to indoor planting. I have a 16-year-old stepson Sean who loves to pull all kinds of pranks and has been trying some weird pranks on me lately. I don't mind it as long as he's happy, and also because nothing is too serious, just hiding my farming tools, replacing them with damaged ones and so on. He just keeps messing around like any other kid. Days ago he posted a FB video of him spraying cold water on me when I was sleeping. It was embarrassing since he shared it with family. I got mad at him and had him delete it despite him begging me to let him keep it. He kept sulking afterwards and had his mom try to convince me to let him repost the video, but I thought that was crazy request. Sean suddenly became friendly and asked if he could water my plants. I was glad he asked and gave him the watering can and told him to start with the plants in the kitchen. He was gone for a few minutes, then he got back and started watering all the plants in the house. Later in the evening I was cleaning my tools and there was a weird smell coming from the watering can. It smelled like bleach. I freaked out and checked my plants and the same smell was coming from them. I confronted Sean and asked what he watered the plants with. He acted dumb and said nothing, but I found a bottle of bleach in his room which made me lose my temper. He admitted watering my plants with bleach to get back at me for making him remove the video. I was mortified. I immediately cancelled the weekend trip to the national park that he was looking forward to. He started crying saying it was too much and he made a mistaken moment of clouded judgment. I refused to discuss it. My wife feels bad. Sean hasn't been eating well since I cancelled the trip, but he damaged my plants and caused me hurt and pain. She thinks an apology was enough. He is a kid and made a mistake. She wanted me to let it go, but I said canceling the trip is his official punishment. I got called unreasonable and stubborn for this and that I don't respect her as a parent too, and said taking away the only thing he cares about the most and look forward the most reeks of ad $, and say. Sean has this mentally that if he admits doing something wrong then he'll be forgiven. This isn't how it should be, but his mother thinks admitting to it and apologizing should be the end of it. My husband and I have been together for 5 years. We wanted kids, but because of my health problems this wasn't possible. We decided to go with surrogacy. My friend nominated her sister, Brittany 29, I agreed right away cause I know Brittany and the family. We've set everything up. Discussed payment, short and long-term plans, counseling and doctor appointments. We explored IVF and chose a private clinic to get it done. It started after Brittany took a pregnancy test. She only told my husband though she had both our numbers. She only sent my husband a pic of the test while he was at work and sent me nothing when I gave her my personal contact info, but it was okay. Things got complicated when Brittany started having access to our credit cards for her own wants and claimed they were the baby's needs. She excluded me from doctor visits and scans and had only my husband go with her. Her excuse was my husband drives and has time since I work and unavailable most of the time. I felt isolated from this experience but said nothing knowing she's bearing a lot of burden, so I had patience. My husband had no idea what was going on and if this was normal. This was new to us so we didn't know. She's 7 months in and last week she had us visit to discuss things that I thought we'd previously agreed on, but she said she changed her mind about and her mom was there too. I heard Brittany out and was shocked when she gave a list of how things should be from now on, since she said there was lot of confusion in the past cause of me stressing her out by complaining. She requested she gets say in things like baby name after I deleted the list of names she sent to my husband. She wanted more access to my husband's credit cards, free time to get stuff done at her place. Also more time with the baby than agreed on. Then wrapped up by saying only my husband should be with her in the delivery room and used the hospital as excuse. I got up and firmly stated I don't agree on her new terms and that she had to stop acting like she was my husband's wife and this was their baby. My husband didn't speak till she started crying. He asked me to sit down but I said I had boundaries, reminded her what her role was and how she overstepped. Her mom went off and then said her daughter was being mistreated when she put herself mentally and physically through the most selfless act for us, to make us a family. She gave up a part of her life in those months to give us what we want and I was acting selfish and ungrateful. She had us leave then told my friend and it got more complicated. I was told to apologize for what I said. I had to edit. Yes, we agreed on paying for the surrogacy like I stated above. So no favors or anything. Edit. No, we did not have a legal contract because my friend said there was no need for us to do that and basically talked us out of it since we are considered family, but we had an agreement including paying her. Edit. Question about whether Brittany had kids of her own. She was a single mom of a 4-year-old who passed away from an accident. She had him at young age but she always seemed in good mental and physical health. My boyfriend turned 21 last week and I bought him a new video game he had been wanting and a t-shirt. He started ignoring me and leaving me on read after that. I asked him what was wrong and he finally said it was unfair that I got him birthday presents because now he's going to have to get me something for my birthday and that I am being manipulative. I told him no, you don't have to get me anything for my birthday but I'd like to spend some time with you that day, but he said that it was a dick move that I got him gifts. He says I was trying to make him feel obligated. I told him it is the thought that counts and that he doesn't have to get me anything but that if he does, I'd be happy with just a card, but he keeps saying he is unsure he can deal with a materialistic girlfriend. Was it wrong that I got him gifts? I can't understand anymore. I, 29F, am working in an office and I have a colleague B, who routinely makes fun of vegans. I am vegan and I never make a fuss about food. I go to the same restaurants as my co-workers during lunch hour and I can always find myself something to eat without announcing my dietary choices. B keeps calling me out on it though and she's very condescending about it. She keeps saying I am just having a phase and she keeps offering me bites of her lunch that contain cheese and meat, and when I refuse she just goes, oh come on, it's vegan I promise. Wink wink. It's very childish and annoying and even other people asked her to tone it down, but she insists she's just joking. Last week she brought a homemade cake to the office for her birthday, and when she put a slice down in front of me I politely thanked her but I said I can't eat that. She said the cake is vegan and she made it specifically so I could eat it, but knowing her very loose definition of vegan I asked a few questions about the ingredients and she didn't check any of them for milk or eggs, so I thanked her again but refused the slice. She made a big scene out of it. She started crying and saying she just wanted to do something nice for me and now I ruined her birthday. Some colleagues told me not to mind her dramatics, but my boss told me that it was her birthday and I could have given her cooking the benefit of the doubt. I sort of see his point, but I also feel like I don't need to justify my food choices to anyone, and I never asked her to make the cake vegan for me. Ada? My kids attend a year-round school and started back up for the new term 2 weeks ago. My eldest, 16F, ended up getting her phone confiscated for using it during class to watch TikTok. We had discussed this before she even got the phone, then had some issues last year. As a last resort, I told her if that happened again, the phone would become mine and she'd get an old flip phone that was my husband's with no internet until she could prove trust. The school policies had changed this term from a phone would be confiscated until a parent could come get it to a phone would be kept for 2 weeks as a first offense, 3 for second, so on and so forth. I wasn't okay with this as I don't trust the school to not lose it. I know they've broken other students' phones, plus I don't want them having access to my daughter's private info. I went to the school and requested it back, saying I wouldn't give it to my daughter but I paid for it. Secretary gave me the spiel and I didn't blame her but asked to speak with the vice principal. He comes out and repeats them. I said okay, but I'm the parent, I paid for it and I never signed anything giving you permission to hold it. They were refusing, so I said I'd sit in the office until it was given back. I did so and waited for close to 2 hours. Finally the principal came out and said I needed to leave. I said if I left, I'd be back with a police escort. At that point, the phone was returned to me. My husband says I carried my way out of it. To me, it's not their property to take. Ada?